The time is 12 o'clock. Good morning and welcome to the news. Welcome to the media news on T Solid Radio. The time is 12 o'clock. Good morning, and here is the news at 12 on T Solid Radio. I am Akachi Chijioke. First major headlines. Federal government directs MDs immediately commence implementation of no work, no pay policy. NCDC report 835 new cases and 10 deaths. And on the foreign scene, Mali former MP arrested over corruption claims, and in sport, Brazilian reinforced athletic gold at Tokyo Paralympics. And now the news in details. Minister of Health Dr. Osagi Ohanire has directed the chief medical doctors, CMDs, and the medical doctors, MDs, of all federal tertiary hospitals across the country to commence the implementation of no work, no pay policy on the striking resident doctor with effect from Monday, August 2nd, 2021, including other health workers that may embark on strike subsequently. According to the memo to the CMDs and the MDs dated 26 August 2021 and signed by the Director of Hospital Service, Dr. Adebimpe Adebiyi, on behalf of the Minister, says the directive was in line with the Section 43A1 of the Trade Depute Act, which inter alia states where any workers take part in a strike, he shall not be entitled to any wage or remuneration of the period of the strike and shall not account for the purpose of reckon with the period of continuous employment, and all rights independent of continuity of the employment shall be judicial affected accordingly. The minister, however, directed to the head of the Federal Tertiary Hospital to complete the financial implementation of the no work, no pay from the salaries of the resident doctors and any other health workers that participate in the strike using the attached template and forward the sample of the to the IPPIS office through the Federal Minister of Health and for implementation with effect from 2nd August 2021. This is coming after the National Industrial Court of Nigeria (NICN) on Monday rejected an application by the federal government to order striking members of NAD to resume work. Former Nigerian President Olusegun Obasanjo has been appointed as the African Union envoy of Horn of Africa. It comes amid political and security crisis in the region, in particular the Ethiopia, where a civil war has been raging in the north region of Tigray since November. Chairperson of the AU Commission, Musak Fadik Mahamat, said the former Nigerian leader would intensify engagement with all relevant political actors and stakeholders in the region towards entrenching durable peace and stability within the Horn of Africa. Olusegun is due to arrive in the region in the coming weeks, and the AU, which is headquarters in Ethiopia capital Addis Ababa, has asked all sides to support him. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo says all 28 states that established judicial panel on NSAS have completed their assignment except Lagos State panel, which will be ready by October. NEC at the wake of NSAS protest 2020, directed states to the constitute judicial panel of inquiry to investigate complaints against the Special Anti-Robbery Squad (SAS) and other police units. Oshibanjo spokesman Laolu Akonde, in a statement on Thursday, said the vice president presides over a virtual meeting of the National Economic Council (NEC) anchored from the presidential villa in Abuja. The vice president said the eight states has turned in this report as the council looked forward to discussing them in full at its next meeting, which is all the states would have made their submission. Kwara State is said to have led the pack on Thursday with 207 coronavirus cases as the country recorded 835 additional infections on August 26. Data from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (SDC) on Friday showed that the cases were spread across 19 states and the FCT. The NCDC stated that on Thursday, the country confirmed 835 additional infections from the 637 recorded on Wednesday, rising from cumulative cases to 189,715. The Public Health Agency said Rivers recorded the highest number on Thursday with 263 infections, followed by Lagos with 217 cases. Among other were Oyo State 128, Edo State 45, Kwara State 42, FCT 37, Ekiti State 35, Ogun State 13, Akwa Ibom with 11 cases, Imo State with 11 cases, Bayelsa with 11 cases, Plateau with 7 cases, and Delta with 4 cases, Kaduna with 3 cases, and Sokoto with 2 cases, while Abia, Ebonyi, and Nasarawa reported 1 each respectively. The agency noted that 10 COVID 19 related deaths were recorded, increasing the country fatality figure to 2,298. The agency said attributed the rise in cases to the Delta variant, which was serving in 5 states. It noted that the Delta variant was much more contagious than the previous version of COVID 19. However, the agency did not indicate of its majority if the known active case were from the continuous Delta variant or other variants from concerned, stated that the Health World Organization. You are still listening to the news at 12 on T Solid Radio. Still to come is the foreign and sports news. Do remember that you can download our app T Solid on Play Store or log on to www.tsolid.tv. You can as well follow us on our favorite social media platform, all at T Solid Radio TV. And now to the foreign scene. Mali former Prime Minister Bubaye Maga has been arrested over alleged corruption during the purchase of a presidential plane 7 years ago. His lawyer Kamso Tapo said details about this Thursday arrest were unclear. Mr. Maga is said to have been involved in the alleged overpricing of the former President Ibrahim Keita plane when he was a defense minister during the purchase in 2014. The presidential plane was purchased for $40 million, an account criticized said was being overpriced. Mr. Maga was the prime minister between 2007 and 2019 when he resigned amid an siege of violence in the country. New Zambia President Akid Achilema says he will start appointing members of his cabinet from Thursday. The president has tweeted that his first appointment will be the Minister of Finance. Mr. Achilema was elected president in a landslide victory over his month, defeating his main rival, the outgoing president Edgar Luga, by more than a million votes. He, however, promised change for Zambians, including by reviving the struggling economy. Still on the foreign scene, New Zealand national lockdown will be extended until the end of this month, with regions south of Auckland being downgraded to level 3 after the date. Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern said it is likely Auckland and North Land will remain under full lockdown for another 2 weeks, with a review due on Monday. New Zealand has reported 7 new COVID cases today, with a total of 347 active cases in the community, driven by the higher contagious Delta variant. Referring to the latest infection data, Andre in the news conference said the Auckland will likely remain under lockdown in order to get the Delta under control and reopen fully for safety. people, including two Chinese, were killed and two other injured on Thursday after a crane collapsed at the construction site in the Kenya capital, Nairobi. According to eyewitness, the crane came crashing down while a team of 10 workers were attempting to dismantle it. The project to build a 14-story student hostel was being supervised by the Chinese construction firm called ZJCC. Meanwhile, none of its representatives were willing to comment on the incident. The cause of the collapse was not immediately cleared, but eyewitness said they have heard people screaming as the crane slammed into the ground. However, the injured victims are being treated at a nearby hospital. And now to sports news. Brazilian athletics snagged the first track and field goal of the Tokyo Paralympic today, as elsewhere defending champions Australia booked their spot in the wheelchair Ruga semi-final. A total of 400 Paralympic game goals are up for grabs today, with a range of sports getting stated, including archery, athletics, and judo, which is being contested at Tokyo iconic Budokan venue. Brazil Yetsen Joyce become the first track gold medalist of the Tokyo Games, squeezing out Japan Kenya Narasawa to top the podium in the men's 500-meter T11 final. Jack, whose way is visually impaired and runs with a guard, said his win was the cumulative of the 5 years of training. Fellow Brazilian Silvana Costa de Aveiro, meanwhile, took the first gold of the field event, successfully defending the title she won in Rio in the women's T11 long jump. And finally, on sports, Real Madrid is increasingly confident of completing a deal to sign Kelly Mbappe for Paris Saint-Germain before the transfer window closed on Tuesday. PSG will try to sign Everton forward Richard Linson, whose current contract at Goodson Park expires in 2024, if a deal is agreed for Mbappe. Real and PSG held positive talks on Thursday following their second bid of €105.6 million, and it's understood the deal is moving in the right direction. Mbappe has told PSG, who turned down reopening offer of $137 million euros on Wednesday, that it is his dream to play for the Spanish side. The forward PSG contract expires at the end of the season, and he has so far rejected the French club attempt to renew his deal. And with that, we've come to the end of the news, a recap of the major headlines. Federal government directs MDs immediately commence implementation of no work, no pay policy. NCDC reports 835 new cases, 10 deaths. And in foreign scene, you heard Mali former MP arrested over corruption claims. And in sport, Brazilian win first athletic gold at Tokyo Paralympics. Ensure to go by all precautionary measures to stay safe from COVID-19, as recommended by the World Health Organization and the Nigeria Center for Disease Control. Do remember to download the app T-Solid on Play Store or log on to www.tsolid.tv. You can as well follow us on our various social media platforms, all at T-Solid Radio TV. The news was compiled and edited by Olorunishola Mary Omolafe. I am Akachi Chijioke. Good afternoon and thank you for listening.